Our next author is the Reverend Dr. Sara Shisler Goff. Sara, join me out here. Hello, darling.
Hello.
So your book, The Art of Feminine Spiritual Leadership, Be a Badass Priest and Create a Ministry You Love. Incredible story, incredible journey. Tell us about this book and how you came to write it.
Well, I didn't grow up wanting to be a priest. I knew in theory that women could be ministers, but I'd never actually met or even seen one. And I think the first...
And I don't think sexy badass when I think priest, but
Well, you should
I
now.
do think that when I know. I'm like, I did not get the sexy badass priest memo as a child.
Well, we're working on it. And so the first time I actually saw a woman priest was at seminary. And I remember just watching her do the liturgy and actually celebrate the Eucharist. And there was this one moment when I looked at her hands and I thought, oh, those look like my hands. Like, I could do this. I could totally do this. And then kind of a come full circle story. Even just a couple of months ago, I was celebrating the Eucharist, regular Sunday. And end of the service at the back of the church, this guy comes up to me who I've never seen before, and I haven't actually seen him since. He says to me, I had left the church. I hadn't been going. And I've never seen a female priest before. But there was something that happened to me when you were standing there presiding over the Eucharist. And I just felt like it's okay for me to be here. It's okay for me to come back. And I know he is going to church somewhere else. But I just felt totally like both incredibly proud and privileged, but also very humbled because I realized it really had nothing to do with me. I just was the one inhabiting that space, but the fact that it was a woman inhabiting that space really meant something.
So I'm going to have you step forward a little just so that we don't knock over the backdrop. You help women to create a ministry they love. Why this book? Why did you want to take it seems like being a minister is enough to worry about, like you have your own people, but why do you want to be in sisterhood in a leadership role with other leaders who have jobs like yours?
That's a really good question. I have learned that ministry is not it's never a solo endeavor, that if you want to do it in a way that you can both be successful but also maintain a sense of self and integrity and wholeness, you really can't and shouldn't do it alone. So I've been creating my tribe of sister priests since seminary, and I actually, their influences in the book. I thank them in the book, and what it's a really selfish thing. I want my tribe to grow. I really want to start a movement of women ministers. I wrote this book in particular to women who are in ministry, but any woman who considers her job her vocation, I would hope would be able to get something out of it.
Yeah, one of the things I think is so interesting about writing a book for ministers, male or female, but then exponential for women, is like, who are your peers? Who do you talk to? There are things when you're in that role in the community that even if you connect with somebody in the church or in that community, you have to always be the minister. Like, you're the one they're going to call when they're on their deathbed. You're the one they're going to call when they're in crisis. And so I think it's amazing the tribe that you have built together. And I know there's somebody here who is watching this who's like, oh my God, I might be in the badass priest tribe. You have to find this. Or if you know someone, maybe it's your sister or your aunt, make sure you get this book to them, because I don't think there is any vocation, maybe outside of the military, where like there's more support needed that's harder to get. So such a powerful message. Let's see. I found a question I wanted to ask you, and this is from Jean from Ohio. So in Jean's case, she's raising a large family, and she says, how did you know that this was the right time to commit time and focus to this project? So I know in your case, you recently moved, you've got a busy job, you have a family, you you have a lot going on. You're one of the busiest people I know. So, although there's always the if you want something done, ask a busy person thing. So there is that. But how did you know, or what advice would you give Jean for knowing when's the right time to commit to a project like this?
Well, so one of the things I talk about in the book is how to do discernment. And as women, we're often taught to look outside of ourselves for the answers, but no one knows you better than you. And your body wants to tell you things. You probably already know the answer. The question is, can you let go of all that other stuff that you think are the reasons why maybe now is not the right time, but even just tuning in. And in my book, I have some suggestions for how to do that. But listen to yourself, listen to your body, because you are the one who knows.
Such great advice. Well, you can get more great advice like that in the Reverend Dr. Sara Shisler Goff's book, The Art of Feminine Spiritual Leadership. That is for badass priests who want to create a ministry they love, but really any woman as a leader can get some great ideas from this book. Read it, share it. The link is up there. Sara, congratulations on your book. Thanks for joining me on the red carpet.